Hello and welcome to the Other 14 FC podcast. I'm Alex, Crystal Palace fan.
And I'm Tom, a tortured West Ham fan.
This is your podcast for everything not top six. Tired of your team being last on match of the day, not getting the flowers they deserve? Well, that's about change. Tom, what do we have for listeners this week?
Finally, Wolves doubled their points tally for the season over a woeful West Ham. This week it was Thiago's turn to be Brentford's main character with a win against Everton. Elsewhere, Villa, Newcastle and Brighton rounded out the wins in a bumper weekend for the other 14. You getting tired of seeing me, mate?
No, can we just go into the West Ham game straight away? Do we have to talk and have a little break? I just want to get straight into it, man.
I bet you put it last on the rundown.
Been waiting here since I watched it, just seething, waiting for this to happen. But yeah, all good since the last story, mate. I bought the scarf here, which I think you'll like. It's
nice.
From a little
Bart
shopping.
Simpson, Homer Simpson.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm a little shopping, Gabriel's Wharf near Waterloo, London Bridge, Hardtech shop. I don't know if any of our listeners ever go there or ever have, but yeah, I've been watching this since they put it up on Instagram, so I thought I'd show you because I know how much you like your Simpson stuff too.
Yeah, that's class, man. Sick. Yeah. Great purchase.
Yeah. What about yourself? What have you been up to?
Not much more than that we've been saying for the last couple of weeks. Obviously back at work now, but this weekend was the last bit of freedom and playing obscene amounts of Claire Obscure and watching all of the football that just doesn't stop. And unfortunately, there's football on tomorrow night as well.
Best game. I can't wait. I don't usually get the chance to watch non-Palace games because Steph won't let me because it's not really fair. I'm going out for football and I'm watching it at home and it's not Palace. But I am making sure I'm sat down with a drink watching that one because it's going to be glorious. Do you know in The Simpsons where the two monkeys are fighting on the yacht? And it's just everyone around it. That's going to be me stood around watching the bloodbath tomorrow because I've got friends who are West Ham fans and Forest fans, and it's just it's good times for me.
I'm just wondering whether it will reach Burnley losing 3-0 levels of several years ago. It might be you might see me in the pitch with the corner flag at half in the centre circle.
Oh, fucking hell. We talk more about it, I guess, but yeah, let's take a break then get into the West Ham game.
Let's do it.
Okay, we're back, so yeah, let's get straight into it then. Wolves 3, West Ham 0. Arias, Hwang, Mane, absolutely a capitulation in the first 30 minutes from yourselves. I'm just getting my notes in because then I'm just going to let you rant for the rest of it. Is that fair?
Well, firstly, I want to talk about Wolves. I think it would be wrong to just go straight into West Ham on this because the headline is Wolves have got their first win of the season. They 110% deserved it. They were miles the better team. They wanted it more. They were much better with their passing. I saw exactly what they wanted to do. They knew exactly where to pinpoint in the West Ham defence and that. Matheus Mane was absolutely sensational. Played way beyond his years. He had a hand in all three of the goals. It was a sensational performance from Mane. He was really sort of the catalyst, and Wolves have looked better since he's come into the team a few weeks ago. I think his first start was against Liverpool sort of thing, and he sort of came off the bench against Arsenal and he's started the last couple of games and keeping some decent players on the bench sort of thing, João Gomes was on the bench sort of thing. So Matheus, I can't say enough good things about Matheus Mane after watching him fully.
Yeah, he was bossing the show in that game. I was lucky. I don't know why I know why I picked that one because I wanted to see what actually happened if you were going to be miserable or happy on the pod. But it seemed like one team was playing with no pressure on, and the other team was absolutely showed as heavy with worry and pressure throughout the game. I think Wolves looked like, okay, we're just going to go at it, and they were a team that were on the front foot. Looked like the players. God, it's weird. I don't think the West Ham players don't give a shit. That's not a right way to say it, but it was just Wolves were to every second ball. They were on everything. They were always pushing, and it just looked like West Ham were absolutely worried that if they did one thing wrong, it would all go to shit. And then when the first goal goes in, heads seem to drop, and yeah, that's why you get the quick fire 3 goals pretty much straight after, and West Ham in a massive hole that they're not going to get out of. And I mean, once those goals go in, I know you had a chance very in the first minute, and then they go down on the other end and score in the fourth minute. But it's a game
Yeah,
over
I
once.
mean, both teams were sloppy to start off with, like that, and then obviously Arias' goal comes so early that Wolves just like it gave Wolves so much confidence. You're 100% right. There was a team who played with immense amount of pressures on their shoulder, and that was West Ham, and a team who, with the situation they've got at their hands, were like, right, this is probably our best chance of getting a win at home against a team who are really struggling. And there's no pressure on us because no one expects us to do it. This is probably our best chance to be able to do it.
That's it, isn't
And
it? The expectation just isn't there for you. Whereas West Ham obviously have not just expectation, they have like the fans need you to get out of this position and believe the squad and players you have, you really shouldn't be in this position maybe as well. Like, would you agree on that?
I mean, I said before the
Maybe, sorry,
season,
not the
like
squad, not the squad, the money spent, you shouldn't be in this position might be a better way to put it.
like on paper, there are enough good players at West Ham to not be in this position. Like someone like Somerville was Championship Player of the Year when we signed him. There were probably 5 or 6 Premier League teams in for him that season. After that season, when obviously Leeds needed to sell because they didn't come up that season, so they were looking to sell one of their star players. Like I'm pretty sure Palace were linked with him as well,
Yeah.
and
So
he's come to West Ham and he's been injured, he's been in and out of the team, and he just looks at the moment a player devoid of any confidence whatsoever. He doesn't know whether to shoot or cross. He doesn't know whether like he's overplaying passes. He's doing way too many touches and getting the ball nicked off him. It is just like a sign of like what throughout the squad, a player that we've spent money on, but haven't necessarily had the right plan for, or it's just not worked out. The same with like Fulkrug going off, Luis Guillerme's gone now. Like there's a bunch of players that we spent money on, and there's never been a cohesive plan. It's been, who does this manager want? Who can this agent get me? All right, we'll cobble together a squad of well-known names pretty much, and hope that whoever we hire as the next manager can get them working together. We're watching it happen in real time with Nuno's signings coming in. We've signed 2 new strikers in the window already. To Castellanos from Lazio, who Lazio fans are absolutely howling that they've got 25 mil, whatever it was, from us, and Pablo, who that we signed from Gil Vicente, who they bought him for 250k and we've bought for 20 mil. So just goes to show how desperate we are, and we're buying these players for a manager who there's already questions of whether he'll survive like the next match and that, like, so it just goes to show how deep rooted the issues are at West Ham. They're not I'll say it again, and to me they're not a manager issue. I don't see someone coming in and changing this.
that's the biggest problem, isn't it? No one's coming in and fixing the problem that's there because it's worrying. But I mean, the board are most likely going to get rid of him if he loses that Forest game. Maybe there's like a 30% chance. But if you lose that Forest game and those 2 that I said to you, the QPR and Spurs one, just because of how the feeling will be in the fan base if you lose that especially like who are you more worried about? Losing to QPR or losing to the Spurs? Which one is the fan base going to lose their head over more, do you reckon?
I mean, I think at this point we probably expect to lose to Spurs, given how we've been playing and in the league and stuff. I think we would still expect to beat QPR based off of being in the league above them. That is complete like Premier League bias sort of thing. Like I'm sure QPR fans will think they've got a great chance of beating us, and they do. Like we've not been on a cup run in years, so there's a lot of hubris to thinking that we could beat QPR. Like they'll probably beat us. Like we played Bristol City a couple of years ago in the FA Cup and got knocked out to them in a replay sort of thing. So like, by no means am I saying that like we will beat QPR, but I honestly think if he loses the Forest game, then that's it, because that's the one. Like I just don't. If you lose the Forest game, who are the team above you, the only team that you can close the gap on by winning that game, if you don't win that, then your chances of getting out of it. You rely on other teams. You've obviously if Forest end up winning that match, then they get the more points, etc. Like you're just going to be. I don't the QPR and the Tottenham games come secondary to it.
Yeah, that's 7 point gap if you lose that game. Is it a must not lose or is it a must win?
It has to be a must win. Like I said in this four match spell that we had, that we needed to get 7 points for me to think that we were going to survive, and we've got one out of nine available, and then tomorrow night's match to go. So four is the absolute minimum that you can have out of a 4 game spell and have a chance of staying up. If you get like 1 or 2 points out of 4 games, that's relegation form. Like it just is. I want to go back to talking about Wolves a little bit more, just like to give them some more credit, because they were really good in this match. Like we talk about the goals one by one sort of thing. Like the Arias goal, like I've been harsh on Arias this season, and I don't think even he could have missed that chance, although he did miss one from like similar range earlier in the season. But like again, Mateus Mane absolutely sends Sungutu Magasa back to London, just like showcase like the midfield like difference in work rate and like just sort of anticipation. Like Mateus Mane knew Magasa was coming, just turned him, sent him for a hot dog, and then gets it to Hwang and he just squares it, and Arias is just wide open in the middle of the park. Like Mateus Fernandes is following him in it. He did, yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any problems with the pen for the second goal?
I mean, to me, it's not a penalty. It's not clear enough for a penalty. Like, I think it's 50-50. I don't think Mane is getting to the ball once if he's the one who's touched it, which I do think he gets the slightest more like heavier touch on it. I don't think he's getting to that ball. Like, I think it's getting cleared. So I don't think he's like in control of the ball or whatever. And if you want, like, my big cope with it is, if you're going to give that one, then how is the challenge on Potts or Somerville not given? And then also the later one, how is the Souček one not given if Paqueta's one at Brighton last week was like that? Like if you want me to cope, West Ham deserves absolutely nothing from this game. But if you want me to cope, there's probably 3 penalty chances and we didn't get any of them. Whereas like Wolves got 1 penalty chance and got that, and they got it given. So
yeah, I'll agree with you on that. That did seem harsh throughout it, but I mean, like you say, it's not going to change the game, is it? Like,
not at all, no, because there was another one, that a Roccadare chance where it's an insane save from Areola with his foot that had just goal written all over it. See that day, like week in, week out in the Premier League, that goes like when it's coming back and the keeper's going the other way and they head it back to where it's coming from, sort of thing. You see those nested in the back of the net much more often than not.
It's such a good shot stopper. Like, there were a few in this game, but that's obviously the main one out of my notes as well. It just, he just lacks of a bit in the box. But yeah, and then Mane bosses it and gets a lovely strike to make it 3-0. And yeah, game was probably done beforehand, but game's definitely done in the 41st minute.
Oh yeah, 100% is done from there. Like West Ham made changes at half time, bringing on Souček and Ezri Myers, a young kid, and sort of switched to a back 3, back 5. Didn't change anything. We had loads of possession in this match and did absolutely fuck all with it. Like, it was just like, never at any point did it seem like we were pushing for a goal. Like, I don't even think we had a shot on target in this match. I can't remember looking at the stats, but it didn't feel like we had anything that, like, any serious threat on goal at any point. Bowen had a overhead bicycle kick at one point that just was comfortably over the bar, sort of thing. Like, this was a horrific performance, like from a West Ham point of view. Like, couldn't string a pass together, was so easily played through like the centre of the park. There was absolutely no cohesion in attack. Like, Bowen was losing balls, Walker Peters was all over the place, like Callum Wilson.
Walker Peters.
Yeah, he's like fine in a pinch, but like desperately need Wan-Bissaka back from AFCON as soon as possible. And again, and also on the other side, like Scholes tries his hardest. He's a young player coming through, but the quality drop off between him and Diouf, who has his defensive deficiencies for sure, is still just massive. And then not having someone like Paqueta who's can be so frustrating, but is that link between midfield and attack. We didn't have that at all, and the like Callum Wilson just looked like useless in this game. Like it was just he's apparently looking for a way out now with obviously the two new strikers coming in. He feels like his time is numbered because he's not been particularly favoured by Nuno. He's kind of just been forced his hand because he's the only striker available to him before this week, sort of thing. So yeah, it's just as I say, we needed 7 points from these 4 games. At the moment, we have 1 from 9 points available, so it just puts a massive. Like even if we win tomorrow night, I still don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Like obviously, that doesn't take us out of the relegation zone, but I still don't feel like positive that we'll get there because of how bad this game was.
Yeah, and see, I mean, maybe there were warning signs with the loss to Wolves in the League Cup earlier in the season, maybe, but yeah, I mean, anything else you want to rant or anything you want to do, say it's going to make you feel better before we touch on Wolves just to finish that match?
I mean, I'll just say it again, sort of similar to things I've been saying all week, that this is a club problem. It's not, and I don't think it's just a Nuno issue. Like, yeah, you can sack the manager, but I don't think the issue is going away. This is a get the ball. Look, the club need new owners. We need to figure out what's going on with the stadium. We need a hard reset throughout that squad. Start to get them sort of like a much smarter recruitment like methods and stuff, and some sort of actual plan of the style of football that we want to play and things like that, rather than just jumping around from different manager to different manager. But yeah, no, at the moment we're on the way down.
Cool. And yeah, oh, it's going to be an interesting few weeks for you. But yeah, I'm just finished on Wolves. Obviously, massive for them to get the first win of the season. Table looks a lot nicer being on 6 points rather than 2. Probably still a bit too far, and I imagine the media will probably be like, yeah, maybe, but yeah, I mean, there's some positives at least popping up that I think a few weeks ago we weren't gonna be thinking there'd be any positives for them to take from the season, but finding some young players, and then just putting it out there, it seems Rob Edwards he's got a good feeling back at Wolverhampton now, at least after, what was it, 4 points in 2 games?
Yeah, it's absolutely excellent for Wolves. They looked really good on the day. As I say, I saw what they were trying to do for the first time in recent matches. I've seen it a bit more, but before that, like this recent spell sort of thing, wasn't really sure how they were trying to play. Can start to see that coming through. So there are definitely positive signs. Yeah, you're right. It's going to be a massive challenge for them to try and make a fist of staying up, but you know they've been given. They took 3 points and they took it well in this match.
Nice, cool. Okay, we'll move away from your grief, which I'm enjoying quite a lot, and go into probably the maddest game of the weekend: Everton 2, Brentford 4. Like I didn't see this match come in. I don't know what I predicted. I think I must have predicted a Desmond for this, but what happened here?
Mate, it was just so many chances. Like even before the first goal went in, it was like, well, this game could have been 2-2 before like the first goal. Like it was like the Everton started super fast. Like McNeil and Tarkowski had chances early, and I think from an Everton point of view, they'll be looking at this game and going, how did we like lose this game? Like how did we concede so many? I think at one point, I think most of it they just ran into a Kelleher-shaped wall a lot of the time.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, they were giving up chances as Everton usually do, but I think the biggest problem is that they let Thiago, and if you do that against Brentford, you're in trouble. If getting space to take the ball down where it's going long to him, if he's getting space to turn, set up the play, you're fucked against Brentford. Let's put it that way, because he's done loads of times. It's like if you shut him down, you shut Brentford down almost. But even with that, some of the finishing and some of the play from him in this game was unreal, like absolutely unreal. I don't really know even where to start with it. Where do you want to start with? Moyes probably been raging at the first Thiago goal, like Everton messing around with the ball at the back and then losing it.
Yeah, the high press from Brentford did its job kind of thing. Like Everton passing around without really a plan of action. They were just trying to find the man, and Brentford's press got to them, and then Yeah, Janelt's cross, really nice one, just finds Thiago, but he's got space in the box. Like, I think, I can't remember if it was Keane. I think it was Keane in front of him. It's not nowhere near close enough to him, and for Thiago, it's an easy finish. Like, he just like waits for it to drop down and then slots it in, and then it's 1-0, and then it takes a while for the second one to come. But Colin, it's a really just simple but effective one. I think Moyes has absolutely every reason to be raging throughout this match, because the defending was the weak part. Like, there were so many times where it was like, where are the defence? Like, the last one from Thiago was just absolutely criminal. Like, obviously Everton are pushing, but there was nobody in defence, but it was just like over and over again. It was like Everton were just pulled out of position in defence, and Brentford made them pay, especially Thiago.
Yeah, I mean, the defending from the corner for the second goal is unforgivable, and that's coming from a man who has to watch Palace concede set pieces every week at the moment. But yeah, that's one punch in the face, and then a minute later, Thiago makes it 3-1 on the break with a lovely set up play from what was it, Sharda and Jansen, and
Yeah.
it's just a lovely tidy finish from Thiago, which is like it's just
So
shit
on
hot.
this one, do you think? I know he's been given onside, but I still just visually looks like Sade's offside. There's a couple of this weekend
Yeah,
in other games as well where I look at it with the naked human eye and I go, well, he looks offside to me. Like, it's so tight, and then the
this one.
VARs give it, like, the decision has gone with the goal. Like, I think they were all given as onside. The ones that I thought were slightly offside, but this one, I think this one was probably the closest to being onside.
Yeah, this one I don't. It was tight, but I don't have a problem with it. It's the one in the Liverpool Fulham game later we'll talk about. That's the one where I'm like, there's something wrong there. But yeah, we'll leave that one for that game. What was it? It does get checked for VAR, but then did you see Thiago celebrating with Beto? After he scores.
Yeah, I don't know
Who am
what the
I?
link was there. Was
Yeah, I was trying to figure out the link. I was like, okay, probably played for some teams together, and I was like, oh, maybe they're both Brazilian or Portuguese. I was like, nope, not that either. Didn't play for any. I was like, what is this link? Has he just done it to be a
Well, maybe
shithouse?
they just had a joke in Portuguese or something, like, because
Yeah,
obviously
not a bad
Thiago's
shout.
Brazilian, he speaks Portuguese. They must have said must have had some joke between them. I mean, yeah, good for Beto. He didn't didn't take it personally. He went and got a goal himself. Like, I think the one consolation for Everton in this match is that both of their strikers scored, which has been a struggle for them this season.
Yeah, exactly that. If they're seeing Barry and Beto again on the score sheet, then I think it's more positive signs for them. But Everton are being a bit patchy, though, aren't they? Like, battered Forest pretty much last week, and then losing here. It's all a bit if in but I mean, it's fun. It must be fun being an Everton fan at the moment, at least. You're seeing goals in games. That's all I can say. Anything else you want to touch on that game, or should we go on to Villa 3, Forest 1?
Just what I mentioned in the intro, like, every week it feels like there's a different player who steps up and is Brentford's made man. Like, a few weeks ago we had Lewis Potter getting a double. Like, I think, was it last week or so, we had Shardo getting his hat trick, and then Thiago has done it multiple times this season. But yeah, it just feels like they have a new hero. Like, someone steps up each week and is the hero of the week for Brentford, and it's just like, it's incredible to see.
Yeah, 100%. They are. Well, they're flying, aren't they? They're flying towards their Champions League places. I don't know if you follow or see Brentford memes ever pop up on Instagram, but those reels are always funny. And they had a good one with Andy Sandberg dancing, and it was like the Champions League logo in the background. I was like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. And even my mates, Brentford fans at work, have been complaining going into Christmas, and I'm waiting to talk to them after Christmas is over because they'll probably have changed the tune and been like, Keith Andrews is a god, everything's amazing. But yeah, I guess it shows how crazy the table is. Cool. Anyway, yeah, let's go into Villa 3, Forest 1. After this evening of that game, I went to have dinner with a mate who's a Forest fan, and he said he has never seen a team be so dominant in his whole life, and that I think since stats were invented, Villa had the most possession and the most momentum in a game that's ever been had. And he was like, "Yeah, we did not look good." And yeah, from looking back at the highlights, checking the stats, it does not make good reading for Forest fans. But Villa fans bounce back from that defeated Arsenal as we kind of expected they would, with a completely dominant win for them.
Yeah, they absolutely deserve this one. There was a brief period in the second half when Forest made it 2-1 that was like, oh, okay, could Forest make this interesting? And then fairly quickly after, there's the third goal that just kills the game off completely, and we'll come on to it. But yeah, Villa thoroughly deserve this. You've got Watkins back in the goals that now, like an incredible finish from him, just a really quick take, turn and shoot, like 6th goal in 7 PL games. Like, yeah, absolutely unreal. I thought at first maybe that John Victor could do better, but you know, it is just he's just absolutely whacked it.
Yeah, let's try not to be too harsh on John Victor because, yeah, we'll come to him at the end, I guess. But yeah, John McGinn makes it 2-0 just after half time. At that point, I think the game's pretty much over if you sat there as a Forest fan, even though, like you say, Morgan Gibbs on wide gets one back for a breakaway goal, but would they really deserve it? I don't think they did deserve it at that point. But Morgan Gibbs White getting his first goal in 7 games, good for him. And then, yeah, should we touch on the McGinn third goal? Well, McGinn's second goal, third goal of the game. John Victor coming out, and my mate described this as when you're playing FIFA on a PlayStation, you hit the button by accident and your keeper just goes on a stroll. He should not have been out there, should he?
No, I mean he goes off with an injury after, and I too would have feigned an injury if I had done something like that, just to save face. Been like, I'm actually injured, guys. That's why I had a complete head loss and decided to run 35 yards out of my goal and thought that I could close McGinn down when they were covering defenders. Like, I think John Victor had a bad game in this one, but I thought he'd played all right in recent weeks. Like, he pulled off some big saves and stuff. I could see why Sean Dyche hadn't rushed Matt Sells back into the first team. He was on the bench, obviously, came on for John Victor after that injury. But like I thought John Victor had played all right, but then he had a bad game in this one. Like he's partly at fault for McGinn's first as well. There's a poor clearance in there that leads to the build up for it, and then yeah, he's just absolutely is taking the dog for a walk for McGinn's second.
Yeah, it's not good at all. But if you're Villa, you're absolutely laughing, happy days. Get back on track and see where it takes you. Yeah, anything else you want to take from this game? I don't think as much. It was just complete Villa dominance, really.
Yeah, no, it was a comfortable get-right win for Villa after, obviously, the disappointment at the Emirates for them. Yeah, Forest were comfortably second best in this game, and yeah, didn't really have too much going forward that Villa couldn't handle.
Okay, then let's move on to the game that I don't really want to talk about. Yeah, I tried my best to not watch this game. I went out with Steph to do a recce of the Tate Modern for one of their classes, and I was like, let's try and not get back in time, but did get back in time. But then I made a pie during it, so I just had it on the background, could hear what was happening, and I was like, this is probably going to walk in at half time and we'll be 3-0 down, like we always are when we go to Newcastle. But yeah, walk in and Hughes misses a goal that should make it 1-0 to us just before half time. And I'm like, oh, okay, got a bit of hope. That's good. Hopefully it'll be okay. And then, yeah, rinse, repeat what's happened for us every week in this Christmas period. We really tire in the second half. Our subs are not as strong as what Newcastle bring on. And yeah, they get the win. I mean, Newcastle also did go up a level, I think, in the second half and did look better. But am I wrong for saying I think we could have got away with it with a point? If we just...
Oh yeah, no. You're wrong. Like, Newcastle absolutely bossed this game. Like they should have been up early.
I don't think they bossed all of it. Like they bossed bits of it, but I think the last 20, yeah, they bossed it there. But I think it was on a knife edge for a large part of the game.
No, I think they had chances, and if they'd have scored one early, they would have went on for it to look comfortable. And I think it was kind of poor finishing on their part, like that they didn't, because I think they were opening you up early. This was actually different to. I agree with you that in a lot of recent matches, Palace tire from about 60, 70 minutes on. This one, I thought they were second best all game, and then still found a way to tire it late on. Like they were doing their best to keep it 0-0, I would say, because outside of that Will Hughes, Milky Bar Kid poking wide chance, like what did Palace offer in attack? Like there was
the Mateta chance from the Brendan Johnson cross. But I think that's just what we do against teams, though, at times. Is like we all soak up that pressure and get something on the break, then hold on to that. That's
Yeah, but I've seen, yeah, but there's been recent matches like the Man United one, and for example, like where like you did that, but like created a lot more chances than you did in this match. I don't think you created anywhere near enough to come out with it with something, because Newcastle, it felt like, were, and they've done the same as you in recent weeks, where they've started like a house on fire and then tired late on, like that. Remember that Chelsea game a few weeks ago where they were 2-0 up and then lost it to 2-2. Like but this one, I think maybe you're right. It's the substitutions working in their favour, because they were able to bring on people like Voltemada and Joe Linton and stuff like that. So like the quality of.
If you look at that, they bring on Barnes, Voltemada. What was it? What's his name? Geezer from Croydon. What's his name?
Oh, Willock.
No. Livramento. And we bring on Justin Devaney, Uche, and Drake Thomas, one of our kids, and I'm not gonna lie, he's probably the best one coming on out of all of them, because he's got a bit about him. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, happy it wasn't 4 or 5-0 as I expected, but I think it was that hope that kind of killed me, and that hope that made me think, okay, maybe this was on a knife edge, and maybe there was something we could have come away with. But once again, like, victims of our success from last season, didn't back it, saw problems. And Newcastle, better team on a day, more power in their team, I guess. More, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go to
More
Newcastle away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we
yeah,
haven't won there in years. Like, our record there, last 2 visits, 4-0, 5-0. Before that, I think it's a couple of draws and then just losses. So it's very much a hoodoo of a ground that we go to, and I think a lot of Palace fans know that and we're expecting it. But you can't fault the players. Like, they are giving their best. That's the thing.
Yeah,
it's just
I mean, it's tough when you're being asked to play week in, week out. Like, and yeah, you're right. They could have probably, like, if they weren't so tired, they might have got away with a 0-0 like draw. Might have got out of there with a point sort of thing. Like, they might have just been able to keep frustrating Newcastle. But because that is the situation they're in, where they're just knackered from about 70 on, it was just a matter of time until Guimaraes got that goal, and absolute props to him. 7th Premier League goal this season. He's already matched his highest for a total for a season, and we're just started January, so he's the captain for Newcastle, is stepping up again. Like, in this one, in this goal, he's just following the play in and gets his head on it. Like, it's not the tallest player either. He's just like, he's just a dogged player who's just like, I'm gonna get my head on it first. Like, I want to be the one to get this first goal for Newcastle, and then after that, Malik Thiago capitalises on some sort of chaos in the box after what I think is a poor Henderson clearance. Like, kind of just palmed it out right into the danger zone. Like, if you need to do something different than that Henderson, that's always going to end up with some like melee in the box. And then I don't know how Joe Willock's not made it 3-0.
Mate, it's because he wants to sign for us. That's why he's not made it 3-0. That's what it is. But no,
you're not going to sign him now. You've signed Brennan Johnson, are you?
No, we won't. No, I don't think so. Well, God knows what we'll do. But yeah, with the Bruno, well, talking about Brendan Johnson, I mean, Johnson is the man that loses his man at the back post for that Bruno goal. And I mean, I'm pretty happy with that sign. I'm not gonna lie. 35 mil, proven Premier League player that we needed covering that position, and Spurs taking a hit of like 15 mil on him as well. I was like, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that all round, as long as his wages have come down a bit. I don't think this was the game to start him, and I don't think this is the game for any Palace fan to sit there and like comment on what he did. I mean, he's probably been on training ground a minute, and yeah, Newcastle is always a bogey team for us away, especially. And then conceding from 2 set pieces, with the first one being a second phase. I mean, I've here on my podcast, I've been hearing that basically the players are with this period of like 3 games every week for the past 2 months, they're literally not getting any time on the training ground to be able to like do set pieces. And I'm praying this is the reason that we're so bad at them. Because if not, then that set piece coach needs to get out. Because yeah, it's diabolical. It hasn't been this bad since we spoke about before under Roy, when we were like conceding from set pieces all the time. But yeah, I mean, it's another take our beating, move on. Hopefully we can get the magic we usually do against Villa, but I'm not holding my breath against them for once, and I think I'm about to get a lot of receipts from Villa fans for how I've acted in the past few years.
Yeah, you were giving it Billy Big Bollocks earlier in the season when you went away there on that Sunday night and took their pants down. But yeah, nothing else really to say on this game. It was mostly a comfortable win for Newcastle.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. Let's go on to another game. I don't really want to talk about Brighton to Burnley 0. Yeah, it was all Brighton. They were
Yeah,
really dominant. Like this was them. Everything seemed to click for them against Burnley. They look like the Brighton that we probably expected. I think Matoma makes. You touched on it last week, but he made a big difference for them in this game. He made Carl Walker look silly almost throughout. Would you agree?
100%. Yeah, he had Kyle Walker sweating in this match. Like it was like Mitoma back, like back from injury now, ready to go at him. A 35-year-old Kyle Walker who, like you were saying it all season that you think he's done. I think there's still like a player in there. I think you need to kind of cover him a little bit better and going 1-on-1 against one of the best wingers in the league. Like he lost that battle from the first minute onwards. He could not handle Mitoma and yeah, this was one-way traffic from Brighton. There's an early chance from Costalas that he scores absolutely great finish, but he's just offside, so doesn't count. And then eventually they get that first goal from Ritter, like nice little dribble from him, but then loses the ball, and then it eventually sort of makes its way back to him, and he just absolutely pelts it from a tight angle, like, and then
Yeah, he absolutely thunders at home, doesn't he? I'm a bit harsh on saying he gets lucky-ish with the deflection, but yeah, he has made it with that run to begin with, and then funded it past the keeper to make it 1-0. I don't even think Dubravka can do much better with that because of how hard the ball's actually hit.
yeah, no, for sure. And then straight after half time, like 2 minutes after half time, Ayari gets a chance and puts it home after a really poor clearance from Ugachukwu. It's just like one of those, like, straight after half time, why are you messing about on the edge of your
Yeah,
box, like Burnley? You just clear it. Like you've just passed it straight to Brighton, who had their tails up from the minute ago, and it's actually like Ayari takes it quite far, sort of wide before he gets the shot away. Like the angle he takes the shot, that you thought he would have got the chance away for earlier, but he manages to make the angle for himself and slots it into the far post and 2-0, and then the game was done.
yeah. I mean, Modes Burnley had a little bit, but it was too little, too late. And really, let's be honest, it should have been 4 or 5-0 to Brighton. De Kuyper smashes the woodwork from a free kick as well. Haven't seen many balls hit the woodwork that hard this season.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, Brighton probably going to find form again just in time to play us at home in the beginning of Feb. So when we're probably dropping out, but yeah, anything else you
Yeah,
want to touch on?
I think this was probably the worst Burnley performance I've seen for a while. Like they just don't think they offered anything. There was like one shot through from Perez that showed like a little bit of life, and they almost got one late on from Ugachukwu that Kadioglu headed off the line, but it would have just been a consolation if that had gone in. Like they were just not at it in this game at all, and Amex has turned into a tough place to go. Brighton have a good home record, but Burnley just could not get a grip on this game at all. This one was going on at the same time as West Ham, and they were cutting between matches, and it was just like Wolves are attacking again, Brighton are attacking again, Wolves are attacking again, Brighton are attacking. It was like attack v defence in both of those games. And lastly, I'll just touch on Brighton. Their cult hero, I think I'd call him, Pascal Gross, has returned to the club after a very average 18-month spell at Borussia Dortmund. It was a weird signing because he's like, I think he was 33 when he signed for Dortmund. Like it was his hometown, like young, like the team he supported as a boy sort of thing. So the football sentimentalist in me is like, yeah, that's cool, that's nice that you got to turn out for your home team, but it in that Dortmund side, he always looked like he didn't really have the legs. Like he was being asked to cover too much ground. Had to play right back at games. Like, I mean, Pascal Gross has played everywhere on the pitch during his Brighton time as well, but he's come back to Brighton and can team up with 40-year-old James Milner and have the oldest midfield duo.
That's insane, isn't it? But yeah, that's enough Brighton loving for 1 week. Cool. Let's
Talked about Brighton
move.
for like 2 minutes, but okay, mate.
It's enough to be there above us now in the table. Is that not enough? Is that not enough? Cool.
Uh,
Okay. Let's move on to some of the draws for the other 14 sides. A very entertaining draw, I guess, with Fulham 2, Liverpool 2. Um, yeah. What did you make of the offside in this game then?
well, this was the one, this Verts one that I was like, well, he still looks offside to me. I know you like they've drawn the lines, but I was like, I just looking at it with the naked eye, I'm just like, he looks offside. But
He's
I do.
clearly offside. He's 100% offside. Like the lines, it's either the lines in the pitch where it's like mowed aren't straight, or VAR's like, was it the 5 centimeter? What's it like? Margin of error is the whole 5 centimeter margin of
Yeah.
error. It's clearly offside. Like I'm not having it. I guess we went over the Harry Wilson goal to open the scoring, which also got checked for VAR and overturned as well. Great finish against his old club, and he's just shit hot as a player. Really, like I love it.
I
But
mean, excellent finish, but the touch from Raul is
good, isn't it?
sensational. Like that to be able to play that with the outside of your boot, just on like perfectly like weighted. That I thought was better. The finish is really nice. It's a well
Yeah,
finished goal by Harry Wilson, and the move is just sort of direct brilliance. Like that is where it's like you can play like Route One football when it's like that. People will admire it. Like if you're just lumping balls up to a big man and 20, 30 times a game, then yeah, no, that's not as entertaining. But if you have like the quality on the ball, the one touch sort of like brilliance from Raul, you can play direct and it be like beautiful to see.
yeah, and it was that one. But yeah, then we have the Verts one. Technology is shit the bed there. I'm sorry, I'm not having it any other way. I can't see it.
It
Any
was kind of coming though, like the goal was kind of coming. Like I think Liverpool were kind of pushing a little bit, and they were sort of like dominating and sort of getting the ball in and around the box. So whilst I agree, I think he's offside. I think the goal was kind of coming.
Yeah, that's fair. Then Wilson hits the bar from what should be an open goal. Maybe he's human after
Audacious.
all. Yeah,
Nah, I
I
mean that is an audacious attempt for like
look.
I
You
to
don't understand
I
how much
would
I
love
rate.
you to try that for the next 100 days
No,
and
I'm
see
not.
if you get one of them.
I'm not saying I could do it, but how highly I rate him from seeing him play in person and his form this season. I expect him to be doing that with his eyes closed. That's how much I really rate him at the moment.
Give
Like,
the man a break. Like the defenders are basically on the line as well. So like he had to get it. Like it would have had to go in like 3 inches lower and not any lower. Otherwise the defenders could probably have got it.
mate, I expect that from him. That's all I'm saying. But nah. Then we move on to Gakpo misses loads of awful attempts throughout the game. Finally, fucking bundles one in and thinks he's won it, and it's glorious. It's reminiscent of like the Richarlison celebration against Liverpool, where he's like taking his shirt off. He's gone to the corner, celebrate with the fans.
I
Thinks
mean, on
he's
this
done
one,
it.
it's kind of bad defending though. Like I would have to say, there's like I think Anthony Robinson needs to get out to Frimpong. He just let it like the cross come in way too easily, and then two. Timothy Castagne and Issa Diop were just, they should have been much more alert to Gakpo. They both kind of just like leave him to the other one, or just not even like in Diop's case, I don't even think he's aware that there's a Liverpool striker there. Like, well, he's a former West Ham central defender, so it wouldn't surprise you to think that he's got nothing going on upstairs. But yeah, you're right. They all think Liverpool have won it, and then bang, up turns Harrison Reed of all people.
Mate, I know we get done for swearing a couple of times on this podcast, but the only way to describe that goal is an absolute fun to cunt. Like, absolute fun to cunt into the top corner.
It's a
Absolute
fucking
scene.
worldie from Harrison Reed. Like no, like that Simpsons meme you said that you sent me of like, oh, you Harrison Reed, you usually sideways pass it. We recommend sideways pass, and Harrison Reed's just like, no, I'll thunder bastard this one, thank you.
You select Thunderpasta. It's unreal. Like, that is literally the moment where he's just
How
looked
is that
up and
your
he's been,
first goal for 3 years? How is like Harrison Reed? How is it like? How do you have this in your locker and you've just been like, nah, we'll just pull it out now? Such an average football player throughout his career. I know
mate.
Fulham fans like him, and I know he's had injuries and stuff, but like that, if he's got that in his locker, he should have been pulling that out more.
Well, you just expect him to be a bustling midfielder, don't you? Get some energy into the midfield, like break up play and stuff. it's just one of those, isn't it? He's gone like, I'm just going to lever this and hope for the best. And he's made the best connection and put it into the top right corner past
Absolute
Alisson.
top
And he
bins,
sends
yeah.
Craven Cottage into pandemonium, which must have been, to be a Fulham fan in that instant after Gakpo like takes top off, takes time going off to like clap the Liverpool fans and all that. To just, I would have loved to have been there for him.
Yeah, I mean Fulham have got a good recent record, especially against Arnie Slot's Liverpool. So they'll be filling up for it whenever they play Liverpool over the next couple of seasons with these. That like the 3-2 win last year, this last minute winner, last minute equaliser, and that they seem to be enjoying playing Liverpool.
100%. Cool. Anything else you want to touch on that game? I mean, I think it's a good point for Fulham as well. Keep their good run going. I think I put some above Palace on the table as well, which hurts my feelings, so that's always good. But should we move on to the probably lesser games of the weekend?
Yeah, no, let's breeze through the last three.
Yeah, so Leeds United 1-1. Just want to start by saying, sad to hear a fan passing away before the game. A Leeds fan passing away before the game. I think it was due to medical reasons. So yeah, just
Yeah, young Josh Pick, season ticket holder, his dad and I think sister were at the game, and yeah, really good reception for them, and yeah.
No, I think there was another one that died pre-match as well.
Oh,
Like
really?
on the way to the game. Yeah, So obviously both those. I may be wrong with that, but that's what I think it was because obviously knowing this is like the Lancashire Yorkshire derby. I think the news was fan dies pre Leeds United game. I was like, oh my god, I hope there hasn't been trouble. But yeah, I think it was just a medical issue there as well. But yeah, going into the game itself, the atmosphere must have been insane there. Like you see the limbs when Aaronson scores the goal to open the scoring, and Ellen Road is like insane, like absolutely going mental. I've got a lot of Steph's family, all United fans, but they've told me how like aggressive and how harsh it is when they go there and how they get treated by Leeds fans. So it means a lot to them this game. And yeah, Leeds fans must have been in dreamland after that first goal.
Yeah, unfortunately, they weren't in dreamland for very long. Like like we'll touch on it, the Aronson goal is really a great nose for danger from him. Like Aronson's always been a willing runner, but he's not Leeds fans' favourite player by a long shot. Like there's lots of Leeds fans who wouldn't have him in their starting lineup, sort of thing. But I think the reason why he continuously gets chances is that just work ethic of just like I'll run myself into the ground sort of thing. Like I might not necessarily always have the top quality, but he shows it in this one that there's a talented player in there. Like latches onto a loose ball over the top, and just a really good finish past Lamons. Like you,
was a tight finish.
Yeah, absolutely tidy finish. But then you need to you just can't concede so soon after.
Nah, I was just going to lastly thing on that Aronson goal. I'm just happy it was against that Heaven kid because he puts one performance in and the media's like, oh, next Man United wonder kid. Like any 6 teams, like Archie Gray against us, like, oh, he's the best thing ever. It's like, no, he had one good game. Like let's settle it down. So yeah, I am a bitter old top 6 hater in that respect. But yeah, like you say, you can't really be conceding to Cunha making it 1-1. It's nice build up, but Leeds need to be holding their shape a bit better there. Would you not agree?
Yeah, I think Sebastian Bornau, who is a player that I've always quite liked from his Bundesliga days, I think I put him at fault for this one. I think he tries to play offside a little bit too late, and like he's actually playing Cunha onside, and then he tries to make it up, and he's lost a leg of pace over the years. Has Bornau, like when he was younger, he might have been able to make that up and get like a block in, but he looked slower than he had done in previous years, and yeah, decent. I mean, it's a decent move from United, but you just have to you have to be more switched on than that. Repeating myself, but
do you think your mate Perry had to come so far out as well?
I mean, if he'd have got a glove on it, would have been saying, "Wow, well done for making the angle small, like making your body big, sort of thing, like making it tight." I think if he stays back, he's probably got like as good of a chance as going out to it, sort of thing. So yeah, I don't think you can blame me for that one.
Nah, it's fair. Last thing to touch on that game, Okafor with the bicycle kick had kind of a half bicycle kick, I called it. It's one of those ones you like just lob over your shoulder and hope, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was fairly easily saved, wasn't it? Like, it's like, oh, this looks fun for the TV cameras, but the connection wasn't like
One
really
there.
there.
Yeah, I think Leeds do well to keep it at 1-1, but at the end, is it Peru? Peru, that's his name.
Piro,
Peru.
yeah, Joel
Peru.
Piro with a chance late on almost sweeps it into the top corner. I mean, I don't blame him for not scoring because he's like he doesn't start games for Leeds anymore. Like I think most of the games he comes on 10, 15 minutes at best, sort of thing. So I I don't necessarily blame him for being a bit rusty and like trying something and it not working.
Yeah, I mean, if that goes in though, I think there's Leeds fans on the pitch. I think it's
Oh
that
yeah.
that would be last minute winner would have been absolute bedlam there. But
Yeah, well,
yeah,
they've not beat United in any competition since that Jermaine Beckford FA
Beckford
Cup
one. Yeah.
game. What, 10 years ago or 12 years ago now, or whatever it was. Like,
I think it was 12 years to the day
tw-
before or something silly like that, wasn't it? When they
yeah,
were were they League Two leads or League One leads at
League
that
One,
point as well?
League
Yeah,
One, FA Cup third round. That was proper. Like, I remember that game. That was like a
yeah, I
magic
remember.
of the cup sort of game. But yeah, it would have been great for Leeds to get a win in this one, but probably a draw was deserved, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And Leeds wants also keep the good run going. 22 points. I mean, they've kind of just taken them away from the relegation scrap in this period, but they still need to keep it going, I guess. But there's hope there for Daniel Farke's side, ain't there? But cool.
Don't worry, West Ham aren't getting 22 points, so
Not getting 15, mate, so we'll worry about that. Cool. Yeah, let's just quickly touch on Spurs Sunderland. Once again, Sunderland defensively strong, but breached by a Davies poke home from a corner that was a bit of a shambles, really,
I
from
mean, I
Sunderland.
thought I thought Sunderland were a bit shit in the first half, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I just think they sat back a bit too much, and I think Regis Labrie said this to them at half time because there was a noticeable difference. But yeah, the Davies goal, poor defending. There's way too much time for Romero. Like you've got Sunderland had all of those bodies in the box, and there wasn't a challenge from any of them, and it kind of
No.
like the ball got quite easily in the way it like went to I think it was Porro and then
Pinball,
to
yeah.
Davies like just like there's so many Sunderland bodies and none of them come near it.
Yeah, it was. It's Romero that and then gets to Van der Ven, who like has a scuff shot that then gets to Davies' name pokes
Davies.
home. But yeah, like you say, second half very different. I think my main thing I took away from this isn't an. I mean, we've said a lot about Sunderland, but this was not a newly promoted club's performance away at a top six side. Like any other newly promoted team, good form or bad form, goes down 1-0 1-0 to Spurs in the first half and probably tries to get on the front foot, but then gets caught out at the back, capitulates and loses the game probably 2 or 3-0. But they were impressive just to give it a go, but also stay resilient at the back. Like you say, they got to kick up the arse. They had a lot of opportunities, and it was impressive for me from Sunderland. And something maybe I haven't considered this season is that they're not playing like a newly promoted team in any way, or shape, or form. They got no fear. Maybe is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and I think that goes to show why they came out in the second half and looked much more like the Sunderland we've seen all season. They look much more aggressive going forwards. But while also being compact defensively, they were getting the balance much better than what like they have been all season, where the balance between attack and in defence. Whereas in the first half, they got that balance completely wrong and were far too defensive and struggled to get forward. But in the second half, Lafay with a bullet header, like the Brobby goal is elite 1-2, like between Brobby and Lafay, like the passing in that is so like precise, but with the right amount of pace on it, completely does the Spurs defenders and Brobby then absolutely just smashes it past Vicario and after that, I mean, I think it was all Sunderland pushing. There was a late attempt from Tottenham, but there was a Hume one that went straight at Vicario sort of thing. But I do think Sunderland were pushing, and I think that was also sort of testament to what you were saying. Like they're not playing like a newly promoted team, and they haven't been all season. They went 1-0 down and after a bad half, and they knew that they could play a lot better and get something from this game, and they get the draw. They possibly could have got a win.
Yeah, I'm I'm really looking forward to my trip to the Stadium of Light on the 17th of Jan. I'm also dreading the game itself. That's the thing.
Yeah, our 3-0 loss there at the start of the season doesn't look that bad now, does it?
No, it doesn't. Especially when we go there and probably lose 5-0. Oh god. But yeah, quickly touch on Bournemouth, Arsenal 2-3. I mean, there were points when I was like, it's going to happen. Bournemouth are going to do it because I think I predicted them to get a Desmond in this one, and I was like, oh, it could be happening. But yeah, I think Evan Nilsson capitalised on the Gabriel mistake, which is good from him and something probably Bournemouth need Evan Nilsson to do more now if Semenyo does go, even though I think he might stay at this rate. Like, doesn't the clause close tomorrow? Or
I thought it was the first 2 weeks, but I still think that's going through. Although I did think it would have been done on the first couple of days. But yeah, Evan Nilsson gets a late Christmas gift from Gabriel. I don't think he could quite believe his luck, but I don't even think Evan Nilsson this season, like in this season where he's been a bit down on the goals, is going to miss that chance. Like he's got a free goal. There's a Brooks chance from a really tough angle, but I think again some chaotic defending from Bournemouth was kind of their downfall. Like I think they tried really hard to defend, but I think they almost tried too hard and got sucked in towards their own goal at times and vacated a space between like the penalty spot and the edge of the box, and that's where Declan Rice popped up twice. And it's just like that kind of defending where you're defending bad in a spell, and so you're all rushed to the line to be like the last player, the last man to make the last blocks, the last ditch tackle kind of thing. But then if you leave such a player like of such quality, he's going to be able to get it, find the weak spot in that defending and slot it home.
I'm not sure if I'm just making this up, but both the goals felt like very Declan Rice goals to me, just like coming in there, slowing away, a bit like Frank Lampard goals back in the day, where it'd be like arriving late in the box and putting it away. So yeah, Krupi gets a lovely strike to make it 3-2, and there's hope. There's definitely hope of it being 3-3 and the Arsenal capitulation maybe beginning. But then the referee has a complete mind loss at the end of the game, would you say?
What was this?
Do you not see this?
I didn't see this.
No, so basically, last minute of the game, Bournemouth have
when he doesn't give just blows the whistle.
Blows the whistle before Semenyo
right.
can get
Oh, sorry. I thought there was something a lot more controversial.
No,
yeah, I mean, I don't think that's that controversial. Like,
I do, because if it's the other way around, top 6 teams going like, "Wow, this is bullshit." Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but it does happen all the time.
No, I won't have it.
I think we see that like every week, like a team who think that they should the whistle shouldn't go yet, and they're like, oh, we're about to cross it in.
Yeah, but all the ratty time wasting Arsenal were doing throughout the game, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like you gotta have ups and downs with it. Yeah, cool. I'll leave my own rattiness behind there because I'm just praying for this Arsenal downfall ASAP. But yeah, cool. Okay, because we've gone quite long there, let's take a break and then get into our predictions for the midweek games. Okay, and we're back, so let's get into it. Where should we start?
Why are we the only team playing on Tuesday night? Why are there more eyes on... I don't need any more eyes on West Ham. West Ham Forest, we're going to lose 2-0.
I think it's going to be 1-1, and it's going to do both teams no favours. I think that's probably what I'm thinking. But yeah, I actually, in this one, if this goes bad, I'm probably going to start being nice and you're going to get really worried about it even more.
Anyway, so, Bournemouth v Tottenham.
Yeah, Wednesday, Bournemouth v Tottenham. I think Bournemouth 2-0 in this one for some reason.
Still, just as we've been saying, I don't trust their defence, but they will score goals. They might reverse the weekend. I think I'm going to go 3-2 Bournemouth.
3-2, damn, cool. Brentford, Sunderland. Oof, that's a hard one. I'm going to go a Desmond for this one, I think. I think there might be goals in it.
Ooh, I'm going to go 1-1.
Nice. It does feel like a draw, doesn't it? Palace, Villa. I think our magic against Villa is going to run out, and it's probably going to be a 3-1 Villa.
Yeah, it has to, right? I know you've got such a good record against Villa, and the way Glasner wants to play is perfectly set up to exploit Emery, but it just feels the way the Palace have been playing and just how tired they are and how good Villa have been over an extended period of time that surely Villa can get their own back after you beat them 3-0 away. And I think I'm going to go 3-0 Villa.
Yeah, I think not having Munoz for this game is going to be the main. Well, Munoz and Sarr. Sarr has lived in Villa's fans' nightmares for a long time, so yeah, I think it might be the perfect storm for them in this game. Cool. Everton, Wolves. Do you know what? I'm going to go for a 0-0 in this game. I think Wolves might have a little bit of a flurry.
The Wolves were really good on the weekend, but I think Everton have been pretty good all season long at the Hill Dickinson. I think they'll get back on winning terms after a disappointing game against Brentford. I'm going to go 2-0 Everton.
Cool. Then West London derby, Fulham, Chelsea. Fulham kind of riding a high. I can't predict another draw, can I? But it does feel like it could be a draw, especially with Chelsea not having a manager at the moment. Oh, fuck, I'm going to go balls in. I'm going to go 2-0 Fulham to really drop some hate on Chelsea.
I feel like I always back Fulham in this fixture, and then I feel like they always disappoint me. But I'm still going to back Fulham, and I'm going to go 1-0.
Nice. Cool. Then City, Brighton. I mean, City haven't really been at it, have they? But I still think probably maybe 1-0 City.
Just because I'm panicking that I haven't done a weekly Desmond yet, 2-2.
Love it. Burnley, United. I mean, United with probably Carl Fletcher as their manager. Oh, you'd love to see them go and lose at Burnley. I mean,
is it not Stephen Fletcher?
Is it Steve? Oh yeah, sorry, I'm getting mixed.
Who's Carl Fletcher?
Carl Fletcher, old Palace captain. I always get him mixed up in my head. I think he was a West Ham player. He was Carl Fletcher at West Ham as well.
Oh, that Carl Fletcher.
That Carl Fletcher, yeah.
That Carl Fletcher.
Yeah, we're going really back, like 07 footballers there. I'm going to go... it's hard. I'm going to go 1-0 Burnley, but I don't have any faith in that.
Ooh, yeah, I'm going to go 1-1.
Nice, cool. Newcastle, Leeds. I think that's a hard one for Leeds to go up there and get anything, and I think Newcastle might go on a bit of a run. I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I'm going to join you, 2-1.
Yeah, I have not felt confident with any of those predictions, I think, this week, apart from Villa beating us. Literally, I don't know why it's been so difficult. I guess it's because the football's all just been a bit mad recently. Hopefully, after the FA Cup weekend, everything will chill out a bit. But yeah, anyway, that is us for the week. I think we'll be probably podding by the end of the week, or maybe we'll leave it to next Tuesday with the FA Cup, but we won't be doing the FA Cup games because we've done enough football for everyone at this point. But yeah, feel free to rate and review the pod and tell your friends. Follow us on socials at Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Reddit at Other14FC Podcast, and email in other14fcpodcast@gmail.com. Yep, have your say. Send us any voice notes, any comments, because yeah, I think we've been saying the same shit for so long now. But yeah, otherwise, have a good week, and yeah, catch you in a few days again.
Cheers, guys.